Okay, we are recording, and we will begin the fun. Welcome, everybody, to IELE 5010, Classroom Integration of Educational Technology. Just as a reminder, we'll talk about this in a little bit, but as you come into the class, make sure that you mute your mic, just to show everyone is not listening to what you're saying. Can you not hear me?
I'm hearing you beautifully, Brandon.
Okay. Have some people saying they can't hear anything. Make sure your volume's up, first thing. Can others hear me? Tori and Lindsay in the chat.
I can hear you.
Okay. I'm writing the chat right here. Or Tony, you want to take care of the chat right there? All right. Thank you for those who are responding to the chat. Thank you. With the new year starting, we all like to come back from vacation. I know it's always rough starting back after Christmas. So I found some teacher New Year's resolutions to help us get going here today. And as teachers, I know we all have these resolutions that we want to do better in January than we did in August, or maybe we're just kind of worn out and trying to renew ourselves. But here are some fun resolutions that you can enjoy. There's a link there if you want to see some other ones. Just kind of fun. Happy New Year. So welcome everybody again. So there's three of us who will be instructing this course. Tony Pellegrini from SUU, myself, Brandon Harrison from CUES, and Carol Neff from Davis School District. You should have received some sort of welcome email introduction from us already, so you'll know who your instructor is. Feel free to reach out to any of us with any concerns or questions. We try to be on the same page as much as possible. The course is a blueprint course through Canvas, which means that there's one master course and everything is disseminated out through our three courses, so everything's the same course-wise and as far as how it looks in Canvas. So here's our contact information on this page. Please reach out to us, like I said, with any questions or concerns that you may have throughout the next 12 weeks. It's a 12-week course, and we'll talk about what will be expected of you each week as we go through this course. So there will be a seminar every Thursday at 4 o'clock. You'll have some readings, discussions, and some assignments that you will take part in. For the seminar, those of you who are here, you found the WebEx link. So welcome for being here live. It's great having people live to interact. There were a few meetings last time when there are very few people, so it's nice having people who are here. You're not required to join us live. We realize that many of you wear many hats within your schools, within your districts. You have other commitments after school. That is fine. It will be recorded, so feel free to jump into the Canvas course. We'll have it embedded there, as well as YouTube and Google as soon as we can get that posted for you. Now the seminar will go over specific assignments for the week, what's required, give examples of and expectations for the assignments. And this course is a little bit different than the other SUU courses you may have taken, as you will be taking part in the assignments as well, or in the seminars as well. We'll talk about that here shortly. Again, remember when you jump into the WebEx room to mute your mic, you can unmute to speak. Just click on the microphone. And the chat's a great way. There's three of us monitoring the chat room, so chat anything that way. And if you don't feel like communicating via the microphone, but please just mute your mic when you come in, just so we're not listening to whatever's going on. we do a review here, so thank you for being here. What requirements for you that you will need to be aware of? Each week you'll have some readings. You can buy the textbook. It's called Enhancing the Art and Science of Teaching with Technology. There is a link there for Amazon. I believe it's $21. It's nice having a hard copy of things sometimes, but the whole text is in PDF form within the Canvas course. So it is not necessary to purchase the text. The whole text is available for you within the Canvas course. There are some supplemental readings that you will that you're able to read if you'd like to. Those are supplemental. They're not required for you to read. There's some great information within those readings. So take it as you want with those readings each week. Besides the readings, you will have some assignments. Weeks 2 through 8, you will be creating assignments to add to your digital portfolio. And we will talk about the portfolio here in just a second. But what you will do with these assignments is you will create your assignment, create your artifact. You will then use it with your students and with a colleague. If you're not currently teaching right now, then you will share that with other people. You may not have students per se, but you could have kids or grandkids or neighbor kids or something that way, student-wise, that you can share that with. And as well as a colleague who is not in the course with us, just another colleague. For example, next week you'll be creating a digital citizenship poster, I believe. So you're creating that poster and then showing that to students and then to a colleague. And then you will have a reflection on the whole process and how it worked and from the feedback that you received. And you will turn in your artifact with your reflection weekly with your assignments. So that's weeks 2 through 8. That is what will happen. Weeks 9 through 12, you won't have a weekly assignment per se, besides the discussions, but that will give you time, the last 4 weeks, to work on your project and your portfolio. Any questions up to now as far as seminars, the readings, or assignments? Well, good. Weekly discussions. These will be based on some readings that you will do, and you're expected to post at least 3 discussion posts in the weekly discussions. Your first one we want posted by Sunday night if possible, because what will be done is others will go through and read and go through your discussion and comment on it. So each person will have your initial discussion post, and then you will reply to 2 colleagues within the class. You can use your discussion post as a video. You can record on Canvas, Screencastify, anything that way. Or you're also able, in this class, we decided to give you the options to do your discussions with other tools, with other technology tools which are out there. And we encourage you to try these tools. You may not have ever used Adobe Spark before. It is a fantastic tool. Spend a little bit of time creating an Adobe Spark to post for your weekly discussion, or a Powtoon or something that way. So it's a chance for you to try these things in a non-judgmental environment and to see some of these tools which are available to you as teachers to help you in your classroom and to help your students also. So again, your first discussion, please post by Sunday night if you can. And you have 2 additional responses will be due by Wednesday night. That being said, Tony's section has 50 students in his section. Carol has a handful. I have a handful in mine. We don't expect you to go through and review each of your colleagues' posts. For Tony's course, 50 students times 2 minutes, and that's going to add up a lot of time. So we encourage you to pick a handful each week just to review and look at and try to mix up those people which you are reviewing their post for. It may not be as time consuming, not having to listen to a video each week, just looking at some other images, maybe a little easier to do, so you may be able to accomplish more reading through more people's discussion posts, hopefully by not having to do a video each week. So, any questions with discussions?
Brandon, there was one question here. Does someone have to be on at 4 o'clock, or can they log in a little bit later? Or I'm going to add to the question, can they not log in at all at 4 if they've got another commitment?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. We will start at 4 o'clock as soon as possible. These seminars will be a little bit longer than those you were here last time, just because of the student participation. If you're not able to jump in until later, 4:15 or so, that's fine. We won't be here hopefully past 4:30-ish this time. This will be a little bit longer, like I said. And if you're not able to attend the seminars, then they will be posted for you to view in a couple different locations. So feel free to jump in and watch those when you're able to. Again, you're not required to attend these, but you will be required for any information given in these seminars.
Brandon, another question. Will the discussion and assignments be posted in the UEN Canvas? Could you maybe share your Canvas screen and show them where they can find the discussions and the assignments?
I will try to pull my other screen.
While Brandon's looking that up, we've got a couple that are saying they're not getting audio. You may want to check your speakers, make sure your speakers are on, because I think many of us are getting audio.
You have to, yes. You have to connect audio and speakers. Someone just asked that. I saw it popped up. So can you see my instructor screen there? Can you see that kind of?
Very well, yes.
Okay. So for those who are maybe new to Canvas courses, you had your navigation sidebar here. And clicking on the modules you see each week outlined, module or week 1 overview, your discussions right here. You can actually go to the text, clicking on the week 1 text introduction, your conference plan. We'll talk about that in a second, presentation. So you have within the modules, everything's listed here. Also on the sidebar, clicking on the assignments, you can get to your weekly assignments that way. You can see your week 1 discussions. You have to do an introduction this week for your discussion post. And the actual assignment starting in week 2, there's 2 assignments for week 2, and you can click on those assignments to see what the assignment is, and then you just submit your assignment. I'm in edit mode, so I don't have my submit assignment link here, but the sidebar is a great resource to navigate around Canvas. Click on the discussion, it will take you strictly to the discussions, the 12 discussions there, but assignments will take you to the discussions and your weekly assignments within that. Was that the question that someone had?
I think so. It was clear to me. Hopefully it's clear to our learners as well.
Okay, one thing that is nice within this, if you're on a page, since you already have them set up in modules, this is the week 1 overview. The reading is right here. We will record the seminar and post it underneath the seminar recording. The slide deck, which I'm going through, is already embedded within the Canvas course. You can come back and review this. Any links will be live on the slide deck, so you can click on the links and go to wherever it's showing. And everything's kind of linked here. But within the modules, clicking on the next button underneath will take you to the next part within that Canvas course. So I see some people already have put on their discussion posts, and people have already started to respond. Nice. I go through the module, kind of just works me through that way. So are we good with that? Move that out of the way. This course, there's a lot of components within this course. For those who've taken the other SUU courses, this one's probably the most, you have to be on top of it more. With this course, there's more you have expected from you and in this one. I mentioned this earlier, but you will all have the opportunity to present during one of our seminars over the next 11 weeks now. Tony will do it today. He'll give an example of kind of what we expect from that. Because the three sections are reading together, there's 41 elements which need to be presented on. There's 80 some odd students taking the class. We're going to ask you that you're going to have to partner up to present on an element. You may not be someone you know, maybe somebody you know. You can go to the sign-up sheet right here and just sign up for the date and time, or the date that you can present. Put in your information here so we can contact you if necessary. And some of you may not ever be able to be here for a Thursday night. You may have basketball practice going every Thursday, and we realize that. Still take part with your partner in creating your presentation. The method you use to present is up to you. People can just talk about your element. You can create a slide deck. You can create any of those other tools that we have for the discussion. Those are all great resources you can use for presenting your element. And if you need to create something and not going to be here, neither one will be here, you can do a screencast and talk about your element, screencasting it, and we will post that link for all to see. So again, you'll have to sign up right here. This will be an assignment in the week 11 assignment. Once you complete your element, once you give it, just go through the week 11 assignment, say I did it on this day, or what you're, just somehow make note that it was done or what it was, so we can go through and just give you a grade for that. You will also be taking part in a technology plan integration conference. And I think each of us are still kind of work out how it's going to be done, Tony and Caroline and myself. So we will let you know how this is going to work specifically for your section. But the purpose of this is to help you in your technology integration plan or project. Your plan, right, is any new technology that you may want to utilize or questions you have about this. You have from now until week 8 to accomplish this conference. And again, we will reach out to you with more specifics on how we expect that to happen for our sections. Tony or Carol, want to add anything to that?
Yeah, just to please don't be shy as you get to that and take a look at that. Particularly, maybe could you show them in your Canvas class the underneath the syllabus, the course, I can't remember what it's called, course items, Brandon, so they could see maybe where that is going to be required, get that accomplished?
Oh, yes, the assignment that, yeah, somewhere. Oh, here it is. So these components here under the capstone assignments, this course complete one, we will complete that. We will fill that in for you at the end of the course. Once everything is done and you successfully completed everything in the course, we will mark that complete. Your project, this is your whole project is due week 11. I have a slide with examples on that. Portfolio will be due week 12. Again, I have another slide that talks about that. Your element, this is where you will go here and you will just submit your assignment. Again, I'm on edit mode. I don't have this here. Submit your assignment. Just type in, I did element 15 on this date, or whatever it is, just so we know that it was done. Your conference here, the same thing. Click on that. You will submit the conference was done with that. And these conferences, yeah, we will individually talk to you about that if there's different ways that those can be done. But to find those there, you'll just complete those assignments right from that area. So within our presentations, you'll each have to do that, sign up for a presentation for an element. You'll find the elements within the text. If you have the textbook in hand, you can easily go to the glossary and find the element or the index and find it right there. But each week each section of the text goes through 4 or 5 elements. So week 2 goes through elements, however many, and but it says on the sign-up sheet where you're going to find that information within that. Tony, we'll give you the floor here to give an example of the presentations.
Fantastic. Give me just a second here to share my screen. Just have to see which your content. Here we go. I'm going to do that with my desktop, and I'm going to start. Hopefully you're seeing our learner presenting element presentation schedule. Many of you have already started to sign up. That is wonderful. If there's only one there, you're welcome to sign up for another as well. But what I'm going to share with you today is Chapter 1, kind of the backdrop for these elements. Take a few minutes with that real quickly. You click. I probably should have showed you before. I just clicked on it. Here at the top, there's a link to this textbook that you can open up and use. And I'm going to kind of skip over the table of contents through this, but I want to just get into Chapter 1 and show you that Marzano and the other authors are sharing that we're using technology a lot more today than we have in the past. And our students are connecting with and communicating using these tools. Many of the tools that you'll use for discussion are tools that your learners, your students are using on their cell phones, on their laptops. And the authors really believe that there is going to be some restructuring of education. That's going to be done. We've already heard about the concepts of flipped classrooms or providing information to extend the school day. I'm an old teacher. I was around in the late 90s when essential school research came out, and one of the big factors of essential school research was time on task. And in the 90s, we had 6 hours a day from 9 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. Well, now we have a little bit more. We can get a hold of those kids in the late afternoons and evenings, and we can extend our time through using tools like flipped classrooms. The authors are very positive and very helpful through these elements that Brandon mentioned regarding research associated with technology and the different types of technologies that are out there right now for our learners and for you to use and to put into practice. And they list those here and give more details on computers and computer-assisted instruction that happens in school and at home on their own devices. Many schools are moving to a one-to-one, a laptop, a Chromebook instruction, or allowing students to bring their own devices to schools. If it weren't for the internet, we'd all be driving up to Richfield to listen to Brandon today, and next week to Ogden to work with Carol, and the week after to Cedar with Tony. But we get the internet and components like distance learning that we're putting into effect right now that are going to be beneficial for your learners as well. We're going to be talking throughout the course, throughout the text, these elements about blended learning. Yes, there's an opportunity for face-to-face learning that we're doing today, but there's also going to be time tonight. Again, if you can't physically attend today, you can participate in our class via the recordings. Interactive whiteboards and mobile devices, smartphones. It wasn't many years ago when those were prohibited at school, and now we embrace and engage our learners to bring those to class and use those for research. Clicker systems, student response systems are going to be other tools that we are going to talk about through these elements that we have, that I'm going to be sharing with you here in just a moment. I liked the author's perspectives associated with educational technology, focusing on the lenses that we're looking for. We have a positive lens that we're looking for, a negative through, not for, but through, a negative lens that we're looking through, or a neutral lens as we look at technology. What's our attitude and approach to that? So these authors share with you, again, these elements. I wanted to get down to those. Give me just a moment here. And this is on page 22 of the book where we start, and they work through these particular these elements. I'm not going to go through all of them. You'll be able to see and select these, but these are all tools that we can use technologies for to involve and engage and make our students very active and proactive in their learning. With the element of number 3 of celebrating successes, how are we using technologies to celebrate those successes? That's what we want you to report on in 5 to 7 minutes as a pair on each of these elements during our class. And I just wanted to again, fewer than 5 to 7 minutes, go over these and share with you these components from Chapter 1 as we start into Chapter 2 and the 3 elements provided there, providing clear learning goals and scales. We're going to do that next week. Rose Yossi is going to share us with that and maybe another as well. How we track student progress using these tools, and again, how we celebrate successes. Brandon, is that under 5 minutes?
That was perfect, Tony.
It is all yours. Thank you so very much, sir.
No, thank you. Again, the way that you do your element presentation is completely up to you. There's no one way to do it. You don't have to show anything. You can just talk about it. You can do some fancy whatever you want to create. But it's up to you. Just again, take the time, talk about the element, and it'd be great. So this was mentioned a little bit ago, but you will have a technology integration project. This will be due week 11. It is up to you how big or small this would be, but we want something that's relevant to you, something useful and beneficial to you. Don't just create something just to create it for this class, but create something which is going to be useful for you. Years ago when I took this class from Tony, I wasn't teaching at the time, so my project was creating a digital citizenship presentation, putting all the digital citizenship components together with videos and different things that way, because it's something that I needed to do for my current position, and I just don't want to create something just for the class. So make it worthwhile for you and something that you can utilize. There are examples. Yeah, Tony.
Oh, I just wanted to say, yes, absolutely. It's something that you're using already or that your district is encouraging you with. We want you to keep your contract and fulfill your contractual obligations. We want you to keep that contract and do what you're doing there. But if we can share in that and kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone and combine those together, it really makes sense to forward it like that.
And we also want you not to use a project that you use for the last course or for another course. Try to keep building your weaponry or your teaching with whatever you have. There are 5 components to this project. Your first component, you read at the bottom there, it's you planning it. Just an individual planning with yourself what you want it to be. The collaborative planning, that's where we will contact you how we want that done. That's we mentioned that earlier. The what do we call it? Getting together with us somehow to go over it, giving you suggestions and feedback. Then your implementation. This is a project which you will implement for 4 weeks. So if it's something that you can use this semester, great. Try to get it in for this semester, 4 weeks somehow. That'd be a great thing to do. You will have to have samples, some student work that you will have to submit part of your portfolio for this project also. You will have a presentation in this, a synchronous presentation where you will create some slide deck and then a video. You will walk us through your presentation about that. And then you'll have a reflection paper there, a 2 to 4 page reflection paper of how it all worked for you. And there's some great examples here that you can look at. If you need other examples, we can get some more for you as well. Something specific we could probably dig up. from courses that we've had before. Any questions with this? Kind of keeping the end in sight. And it's due week 11, this project. All right, for week 12, the final week, you will have a digital portfolio which you will create. A great way to do this, Google Sites. Most people use a Google site, easy to use tool for creating portfolios. There are some components that you will have within your portfolio. You will have a philosophy, which you will put in there. You'll have your artifacts from your project. So that's not anything new. That's what you got from week 11. Is these artifacts with reflections you will dump in there as well. A transformation statement, how you have transformed your thinking, your thought process, your workflow, everything with technology, and a learning journey presentation. Again, you will present your whole learning journey. So those are two separate things, your transformation statement and learning journey. Within the Canvas course, you get more details of what those are specifically and kind of what we're looking for. But for next week, your first assignment is just creating a place to house your portfolio. So if you want to start that now, if you want to start getting stuff ready, get a head start for week 2, just creating some place to house your portfolio. So as a review for this course, weekly seminars, weekly readings, at least 3 discussion posts, some assignments, the first weeks 1 through 8, a conference, a technology plan conference, which will fulfill part 2 of your project. You do your presentation during a seminar, your project, and your online portfolio. Your assignment for week 8 is you will have to review the portfolios of 2 of your peers. So kind of keep that in mind as you're creating your portfolio and how you want it to look. You will have feedback from your peers also when it gets time for that. So this week specifically, there's no assignment per se. Just get familiar with the text. When I get a great overview, look into it a little bit more. We are asking you to do a video introduction. This week we want a video introduction so we can see your face at least once over the next 12 weeks. For some reason, these video recordings on Canvas are very painful for a lot of people. And don't know why, because we're in front of the students every day, all day, that's what we do. But when you push the record button, there's something about that which makes it kind of painful. So at least one time we want you to do that. Feel free to do it as many times as you want after that each week. But this week, do a video introduction of yourself. And then respond to your peers. Find some connections, get some networks here with people. Also sign up for a seminar presentation to do present on your element. Again, you'll have to double up probably on the elements so we can get everybody in. We will contact you specifically in our sections for the Technology Plan Conference. And then keep in mind your portfolio and your integration project. So that's week 1, almost painless. Just thinking ahead. Hopefully it's not too bad. A couple last things here. If you have any concerns or heartburn, please reach out to us. Please do. We want this to be a meaningful, successful experience for you. We are flexible. We don't take advantage of that. No, we don't want the wrath of Tony coming down upon anybody. So if you're going too late with anything, just drop us a line, email, text, a call. Just let us know what's going on. That's fine. Life does happen. You're all busy with family and other assignments in your community, in your school, whatever. We know life happens. Please keep us informed. Try to stay current with your discussions at least. As Clint Stevens always says, doesn't do any good to speak into the wind. If you're doing discussion number 1 when it's week 8, it's not benefiting in anybody. So try to stay up current with your discussions. If you have to play catch up a little bit with some of the week assignments, that's fine. Know that you have those last 4 weeks with no weekly assignments, so you can hopefully by week 9, be all caught up with all your assignments at least. You can focus on your last things there. Your all work will be completed by April 5th. So that's when everything will be said and done. It seems like a long time from now, but it'll be here before we know it probably, and that's just how it happens. Any questions with the course? There's a lot here, a lot of components to it. Hopefully, an outline pretty easy to follow.
I thought you did great.
Thanks, Tony. last year was brutal for me as a teacher trying to keep everything straight. So I wanted to make it straightforward as possible. As to review, those who are taking this course for the Educational Technology Endorsement, this fulfills one of the 3 core courses, the required SUU courses. In summer, we'll have a Leadership and Blended Digital Learning, and the next fall we'll do the Foundations course again. That's the cycle that has been set up, which is there. You will have the UAN classes, which you're able to take. You can go through, that's a live link, the ETEP requirements. The live link take you to see the other courses which are there. Part of this, taking a technology conference. Attending a technology conference, not taking a technology conference. A great one coming up in February, nothing like St. George in February, Ed Camp St. George on Saturday the 2nd. Tony, you mentioned last course, 4 or 5 opportunities that SUU has for students, or for teachers to attend, different things. I didn't write them all down, but there's a lot there. The SUU will offer, I know. The USET conference coming up in March at UVCC, the Utah Valley Convention Center. The call for presenters is extended until tomorrow, so there's still time for all of you to click on the link and put a presentation submission in there to present at USET. If you've never been to USET, it's a fantastic conference for technology, so free to attend, to present, or to volunteer. There's a link there to volunteer if they need lots of help to make USET go. So if you want to volunteer at USET, do that also.
Can I just do one little advertisement here for this top part, the core classes, 9 credits. These 9 credits, if you do not have a master's degree and you're interested in earning a master's degree, SUU does have a master's degree in education. These 9 credits here on the top do count as 9 hours of electives in that 36-hour program. So for $23 a credit hour, you're getting an awfully good deal in diminishing that price of that overall master's. If you have questions or concerns, I happen to be the director of graduate studies here at SUU and would love to talk to you about that. Sorry, Brandon, that's all.
Oh, thank you. I tried to put that in there. No, that's a great plug. And I've had many educators jump on that because it's a great opportunity and really cost effective also when it comes down to it with that. So please reach out to Tony for anything master related through SUU. The last conference is the URSA conference, July 10th, 11th in Price, USU Eastern. This year we have John Hattie as one of the keynotes. It's going to be fabulous. And the Davis Technology Conference is in July also. Carol will let her people know about that and when the is and information with the Davis Technology Conference. But enjoy the journey. It's going to be a good 12 weeks. April 5th will be here before we know it, but it should be a good 12 weeks. Besides all the information that you will receive from the text and from each other, the networkings that you will create among yourselves are very valuable. And I think those discussions you have with each other and the networks that you will make are sometimes more valuable than information found within the textbooks on that personal things. So, any questions from anybody? Comments, concerns, good jokes, anything? So, this may be our longest seminar. The first one usually is about the longest. So, jump in, sign up for an element to present on, and we will get in touch with you with your the conferences, and start thinking about a project you want to do and get a portfolio ready. I'm finished. I'm all done. I've talked way too much today. not used to all this speaking.
We love it. We love it, Brandon. Thank you.
So thank everybody. Have any questions, again, reach out to us. We'll stop doing this now, but we're here for you. So thank everybody. Have a great night. To leave WebEx, just click on the X, and that logs you out.
And send us the link to the video, okay, Brandon?
Yep, I will get it going right now.
Appreciate you, sir.